I'm as ready as Kemba is ready to go back into a game.
We are the New York Knicks. I'm back. Back in New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts just like winter. New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is K-N-I-C-K.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, it is the New York Knicks podcast, episode 553, and that is how many open threes the Knicks let up this week, coincidentally. We are a part
Jay, Sorry, go, Jay.
We are a part of Dash Radio. Also, go to the New York Knicks podcast.com/ticket club. Use code NYKP for 20% off an annual membership. How you doing, Mark?
Good. I have breaking news for the show.
All right.
I have up-to-date rankings of what place the Knicks are in.
Okay.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this is breaking news. Mm-hmm. I don't know if all sources have this, but the Knicks are currently sitting in 11th place.
Yeah.
But if they keep playing the way they're playing, they may move up they may get to first place.
If they keep playing the way they're playing?
I'm looking at Tankathon.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, they are only 2.5 games out of fourth place, but they are playing not good.
They're in the Tankathon rankings right now. I mean, I guess every team is kind of in it, but they're in 11th. Jay, I expected, I was like, I said to you before the season, this is going to be great. This is going to be the first season. We expect the Knicks to be good, and they're going to be awesome all season. I don't know how the playoffs are going to go, but it's going to be a very, very fun season. Why am I so disappointed, Jay?
Mark, you talked me off a cliff. You got me to start doing the show again, and this is what you got me back for?
This is the crap I got you back for. The Knicks played 3 games this week. They won as many games of basketball that Jay and I won, even though we're not in the NBA. It was an interesting week. The Knicks had 0 actual wins, but I think 2 moral victories. Are we still?
Yeah,
still
the Knicks
using
are
those?
currently leading the league in moral victories.
No, I think they actually are. They're sub 500 in moral victories. This team has no heart. But they played the Nets and they played the Bulls and they played the Nuggets. Lost all 3 games. Arguably the Knicks would have won. Knicks could have beaten Brooklyn and they could have beaten Nuggets if not for one player who really screwed them.
Scott Foster?
Yeah, the refs. The refs completely screwed them in both games. And so in theory, Knicks could be 1-2, 2-1 this week. The Knicks were complete garbage in the Nuggets game. They were an embarrassment. But I don't know, how do you look at this week? Because the Knicks really, the Nets game and the Bulls game were very close. And really some calls, even the NBA has that 2-minute review. And they even said the Knicks got screwed on calls at the end of both games.
Andrew said it's all your fault, actually.
How is it all my fault?
Anyway, I'll wait for him to respond. So the Brooklyn game, they probably should have won. The refs literally told Randall they're calling the game different from him. They decided to let the touch fouls on Harden go again. That double dribble by Durant at the end of the game, spin around, whatever the hell looked like
Harden. You mean Harden?
On Harden.
Well, what basically? So what they said to Julius Randle. I guess my understanding of it was they said we call it like because you're so big and strong, the fouls don't seem to affect you, so we don't call them because we don't see them. We don't think you're fouled. And basically, Randall's like, if I'm hit, I'm hit. I'm sorry, I'm not showing a giant reaction and flopping, but I'm getting hit.
Next time that officiating crew is officiating Knicks game, if I was Randall, I would shamelessly flop the entire game. Anytime I got touched, I would just fall on the ground and flop like a dead fish. And
they're like, the worst thing in basketball flopping? We need it or else we're not going to see any fouls. Then get some goddamn eyes. Get your eyes checked. This is absurd. I understand you can't see every foul, but like you're asking for flopping, you're asking for the NBA to be worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, this is the guy that was friends with Donaghy, who literally rigged the NBA and he helped the person who is now being shady officiating. It's ridiculous to me. But
Do you want to, for fans that are younger, could you explain a little bit more? Who's Tim Donaghy?
Tim Donaghy was a ref who would bet on the spread and then call games to make sure that whatever he bet on happened. And
he was called, the NBA caught him, basically. He was kicked out of the NBA and he went to jail, right?
Right, he did. But during that time, in a 3-month span, he called Scott Foster over 100 times. So obviously he was working with him to get the fix in. But Scott Foster is still reffing NBA games. This is also the same ref that Chris Paul, who is 65 and 64 overall in playoff games, is 1-16 in games Scott Foster refed.
Oh, that sounds something like that someone should investigate.
Anyway, I don't want to bitch about the refs the whole time. The Chicago game was, also not great. Denver game.
Was the Chicago game the one with the Julius at the end with 90 seconds to go in the game? The refs called a technical foul on Julius Randle, which almost basically decided the game. How does a ref call a technical foul with 90 seconds to go in an NBA game?
And he was so mad because he was the bad officiating. It's like,
yeah, you're like, you're not giving me foul calls. You're telling me you're calling the game unfairly. I complain about it, and then you're like, I'll decide the game with calling a technical foul.
No, that was the Nets game. The technical foul.
I'm talking about. Was technical foul? No, technical foul was in the Nets game, or was it in the Bulls game?
It was in the Nets game. The Bulls was Taj getting ejected.
Yes, like early on when they called 2 moving screens, and they're like, "Why are you calling everything?"
Yeah,
it's the issue with the ref. The fouls is not. If you're going to call every goddamn little touch, do it for both teams.
Right.
It's that they'll like Taj, you slightly moved. That's a moving screen. Then someone will punch Randall. They'll be like, "Play on."
Yeah. I mean, Brooklyn Adrian says the technical is on Randall, though. You have to know the situation and complain after. I get it, but when that's been happening all game, like, it builds up. And
I just feel refs. No one is there to watch the refs decide the game. You do not call a technical foul with 9 seconds to go in a game unless it's completely egregious. Like, it has to be absurd. You have to just swallow your whistle.
Yeah. I agree. But anyway,
you're ruining basketball. Okay, fine.
The Brooklyn game, they were missing 60% of their starting lineup, and they still just spanked the crap out of the Knicks, who were healthy that game. They were only missing Sims, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so I have some questions. So here's a question for you, Jay. So I don't know that you know the NBA rules better than I do. I think. Would you say fair? You know better than I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. Do the NBA rules, I guess, and maybe this is a newer rule I didn't realize they have, do they prohibit the Knicks from communicating on defense?
I think they also do, like, the ground is lava beyond the 3-point line. There was a play where there was no defender near the guy at the 3-point line. When I say not near, I mean within about 10 feet. But there was also another guy who was wide open on the 3-point line, and nobody was 10 feet near him. How do you have 2 guys that nobody's covering? Like, one guy, okay, you missed a rotation. 2 guys that are nobody even on that side of the court. They had 3 guys bunched under the net. Nobody on the Nuggets was under the net.
So I don't know what's going on with their defense. The Tibbs is a great coach, a great defensive coach. I know people are giving him crap right now, but I am not calling for Tibbs to be gone. I think Tibbs should keep this job for 5 years. We have to have a coach that stays here for a while. He's a very good coach, but I don't understand. It's just the players don't like. He has to tell the players, when there's a pick and you're switching, you have to communicate the switch.
It seems like it's an effort thing. It really does. He even implied that Barrett's not putting in the effort.
He has that, but it's not even an effort thing. It's just the basic. There are so many plays. I'll watch on DVR and I'll rewind. They're just play after play. Like if you were flipping a coin, decide which way you will go on the switch, whether you actually switch or stay with your guy. If it was random chance, it would work out better than what the Knicks do. Somehow the Knicks always go to the same player. There's a pick happens, a switch happens, one guy will stay with the same guy, and one guy will switch, and a guy will be open. It's unbelievable how often the two guys on the Knicks defense decide to cover the same guy over and over again.
Do you think they're supposed to be switching and one guy's being lazy and not switching?
I think they're not communicating. I think when you're supposed to switch and when you're not supposed to switch is a little bit like there's a gray area. You can't switch 100% of the time. Sometimes you have to know when you have to stay in your guy, and sometimes you have to know when you have to switch. And defense is just not calling it out.
Granted, I've only played at the high school level, but you know how I communicated a switch.
You send smoke signals?
Close. I yelled switch.
I guess the Knicks don't know that word.
Yeah.
Because do you have any idea how often this happens in a Knicks game? If you were drinking a shot of beer for every time the Knicks switched onto the same player, you'd be dead at halftime.
I mean, in all fairness, that was we're the only high school in the nation that uses that code for switching. So
it's a secret code.
Yeah. So.
I just don't understand. I've watched so many plays where they both switch on the same. Like, is that really an effort thing? Just to understand how the defense actually works?
I don't know, but I sent you that clip of Randall where he looked like he was just pacing back and forth on defense.
That was from the Nuggets game.
Yeah.
He just kind of stood there. He set a pick, but didn't really set a pick, and then kind of like lollygagged back on off. Like, it was a defense. It was kind of ridiculous.
Well, he made like he was going to set a pick, and then he gave up on the pick before he made contact, and then he kind of just slowly walked 5 feet over, but it wasn't a move. It was just like.
Can the Knicks learn that setting a pick, you have to just go with the pick? There's so often the Knicks set a pick only to try to set up their own shot. They roll off the pick in mid-pick.
Yeah.
Sometimes also you don't have to go to the basket. You could roll and go for a mid-range shot. You don't have to always do the exact same. The Knicks are terrible at the pick and roll.
They're terrible at pretty much everything at this point. But
okay, just going through the defense first. They always switch onto the same player. The Mitchell Robinson in the Chicago game. Mitchell Robinson, trade him now. Just get him out of here. He's not going to be worth any kind of contract at the end of the season. Trade him now. I don't under his strategy seemed to be in the Chicago game. Nick Vucevic cannot hit three, and I'm going to challenge him on it throughout the game by never covering him.
Yeah, that was the only time I liked that because he's the one healthy player on my fantasy team. But it was annoying.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson's like, JD's a W this week. JD's a W. I'm not going to cover Vucevic. I mean, Vucevic hit 3 after 3. Mitchell Robinson, every time, no matter, he would always just fall back to the basket on the pick. And never, he refused. It was like he would fall off the edge of the earth if he tried to cover Vucevic at the 3-point line.
Yeah.
It was absurd. You can't have a center that can only play defense under the rim, who has no offensive game whatsoever. He's just not. You can't have this on the Knicks. The Knicks need a center to actually have some offensive game, and need a center that can go out to the 3-point line. That was absurd.
He's not Ben Wallace out there, so he can't get away with scoring nothing.
Yeah, there was one of the games they posted up. They threw it to him down roll low, and he actually scored. And I was like, "Is this something we can do?" But could he do that? He's big. He's a really big individual. He should be posting up guys. I don't know what the deal is with this.
I forget who it was, but somebody brought up the point that Camby bulked up one off season, and it took him a year and a half to get his athleticism back because he was just too slow after that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So the Knicks, can the Knicks ever also go with the strategy? Yeah, the bulking up thing for Mitchell. He's slow as shit now.
He is. It's not like he was too small and getting bullied by everybody before. I don't know why he felt necessary to gain 40 pounds of muscle.
He's not. He's good. He's a decent offensive rebounder, but he's not a great defensive rebounder. I don't think he's that great, and he's injured all. So here's some other things that are just annoying the shit out of me. First of all, obviously the packing the paint thing, where the Knicks always pack the paint, and they're like, no one can hit a 3-point shot. It's never been done in the history of the NBA, so they all pack the paint. Have you also noticed that Randall and a couple of guys do this also? They play like linebacker on defense, where they're just kind of wandering around, just not really covering anyone, just waiting. Like they're playing zone when the rest of the team's not playing zone.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. I feel like Randall, Robinson, and Barrett have all taken a step back this year. Like a big step back, not just a little step back. And those are supposed to be the top 3 guys on the team. So it's not going to work if that continues.
I mean, Barrett has like long jumped backwards.
Well, Andrew's got a solution. He said I should send my resume to Tibbs for on-court voice communications coach role. I'll just yell switch.
Jay's like, okay, yell switch on defense. Jay, could you slow this down for us? We need this. Can you make this up into like a 10-lesson plan here?
The other team just freezes. They have no idea what's happening because they've never heard a code like that before.
They're like, switch! And the Nets are like, fuck, he knows the play, he knows the code. I can't fathom. It's the things that bother me the most, the lack of just always switching on the same guy, the just drifting. If a guy is staying outside the 3-point line and you're covering him, that means you have to be within 15 feet of him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Also, do you think the Knicks should be trying harder for offensive rebounds?
Yeah, they should try harder on all aspects of the basketball game.
It seems like they can see the off. Like the other team always gets second and third options on offense, and the Knicks just aren't that great. They aren't that great of a defensive rebounding team. And then when they're on offense, they just automatically they shoot. Everyone just runs the other side as if they're going to play stellar defense. That they run back right now, right. And they concede it every goddamn time. What else is annoying the shit out of me? Can anyone tell Randall his handle is not as good as he thinks that he is? He thinks he has like Steph Curry's handle, and he turns the ball over fucking constantly, dribbling up the court.
He got Clyde mad the other day. He was at the 3-point line, and there was 2 guys in the paint. And he just dribbled straight at them and then turned it over. It's like, what are you doing? Like,
does he ever work on his handle in the offseason?
It's not like there was a lane. It's not even his handle. It's the position he puts himself in. Because I think most players dribbling straight into 2 defenders is going to turn the ball over. That's like a decision-making thing.
No, I mean, so Randall has been playing better the last couple games. Not to say he's not. He's been getting more points. He's been being more accurate. And the Nets, it's weird. So the Nuggets game, he actually shot a bunch of threes, and I mean, the Knicks sucked anyway. But like in the Bulls game, he had to drive to the paint every time. He refused to shoot a 3. Actually, yeah, he refused to shoot a 3. And I'm like, he's one of the better 3-point shooters on our team. You could take a 3 every once in a while, and it also would help driving the lane if you shot some threes. It's
like Tibbs said less threes, and he took that to mean like don't shoot a 3 again.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like sometimes he just makes a decision what he's going to do ahead of time, and just can't adapt to what's going on the court.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randall's driving me. Everyone's driving me freaking crazy.
Brooklyn Adrian said, "What about RJ? Last episode we were talking about $20 million a year. Seems a little high now, doesn't it?"
Oh my god! I mean, like, first off, if RJ was a free agent right now, he might get close to maybe $15 million. He'd get a good contract because he's shown enough at this age that people generally think he's going to get better, but he's not been good lately.
I mean, Tibbs saying his dedication isn't there is very disturbing.
Yeah, well, Tibbs said that basically last season he shot threes. Like he would shoot after games. He really seemed to put the effort in. Whatever. I'm glad Tibbs called him out. And maybe Tibbs said something to him before this, and RJ wasn't doing anything. So call him out in the media. Light a fire under him.
It's really a good idea to do this before you get your first big contract.
By the way, so here's another question for you, Jay. Again, an NBA rule thing. So if you're not holding the ball, like if you're not dribbling or holding the ball, and you're on offense, are you allowed to set picks for other players on your team to get them open?
You're allowed, but I think you only get like 3 or 4 a game, so you have to use them wisely.
Okay. Are you allowed also, do you have to stand by the 3-point line and just wait till something happens? Or are you allowed to cut?
Sometimes the dribbler is so exciting. You just stand there in awe and watch what he's doing.
I mean, the lack of the off-ball action the Knicks have is so lame. Guys just standing there. And like you could do I watch other teams run like more complex offense. They'll do like some kind of double pick snare of set. They'll do different things to get guys open, a little more creative. Knicks run this every play is kick it out to me. I'm gonna fake the three and then I'm gonna drive. But maybe I might kick it out to another guy who's going to fake the three and then drive to the same place I was just standing. He might kick it out, and then the other guy is going to drive to where the other two of us are standing.
Yeah, they do that fake 3-point thing like probably 80% of their plays now. It's
and
ridiculous.
The only guy I want the fake three and drive is Obi Toppin because I never want to see him shoot a three again.
Yeah, he's still at 18% for the season.
He's such a bad 3-point shooter. His moonshots are just not ever going in. Maybe they'll go. I don't know. It's just Toppin. You got to drive. Like just everyone else, freaking like find some balance here.
I also like that play where RJ got the rebound and Randall started running toward the ball like like a little league game where everyone runs toward the ball and then Barrett just dribbled into his foot and it went out of bounds and it was like. Why'd you have to run towards him? Like he got the rebound, let him dribble it up.
Yeah, I also seems like the ball has a center of like it has its own like gravitational force where on defense all 5 Knicks just go to the ball.
Brooklyn Adrian said, if you had to trade RJ, Obi, or IQ, who would you trade, or do like an F, marry, kill with them?
Okay, let's do an F, marry, kill. We're gonna go into a bunch of trades. We've thought up F, marry, kill. I am going to cry as a Knicks fan. I guess I'm going to. Of the 3 of them, I am killing. Like I want to marry, I guess, RJ because I feel like longer term he has the greatest potential.
Yeah, I don't know though. This is a really tough one.
It's a tough F, marry, and we're talking in NBA terms, not other terms.
Yeah.
I'm going to F.
Like big contract, small contract, trade.
No, F, marry, kill, Jay.
No, I know. I'm just translating that for people who don't.
No, don't translate, Jay.
Okay.
I guess I'm going with quickly because like he's a big like F because he can be a big night, one night kind of spark plug. What was your version of this, Jay? Short contract, long contract, and trade.
Yeah.
Guess I'm trading RJ then because that's different because I'm trading RJ because he has the most value, I guess. Or I don't freaking know. I kind of want to F, marry, and trade Randall. I don't know. What's your?
I don't know.
Jay?
I guess I would marry IQ, FOB, trade RJ.
Okay, let's move on to our trades.
Okay.
So we came up with. I said to Jay, we need 5. By the way, but just on a side note, Kemba spoke up. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
He basically he just said he was blindsided by being benched.
Great communication, guys.
Yeah, pretty much. He said it was tough, obviously, because I was a competitor. I love to play basketball. I love to be on the court. This is the first time this has happened to me in my career, pretty much on any level. But at the end of the day, I have respect for Coach Tibbs and the decision he made. It might have been an easy one, but it was a choice he made. I have no choice but to live with it. It's a fair way to approach it.
Yeah. All right, we got to keep the show moving.
Okay, so I wanted to say one thing before we do our trade scenarios because I know you're going to have this trade, and I don't want this player.
Okay.
I've thought a lot about it.
Yep.
I know a lot of Knicks fans are clamoring for this to happen, and they're going to give up multiple first-round picks. I think I'm out on Dame Lillard.
Okay.
Is he in your trade scenario?
No, he's not.
Would you? So do you want the Knicks? And don't tell me what. It depends on the package because the Knicks are getting Dame. They're trading multiple first-round picks, probably up and some pretty good assets. It's going to be a big blockbuster trade, and it's not because they're cleaning. It's not because they're pulling a Melo to get him, trading everyone. I just think I don't think his best years are ahead of him, to say the least. He's having a terrible season right now, and he's still still Dame Lillard. He's still an awesome player, but he's at career lows in all his stats. He's a small guard. We have a small guard who fell off a cliff pretty fast with Kemba. Do you really want to go all? Do you really think getting even if you just traded draft picks? Let's say you had to trade 4 first. We get to keep the whole team. Would you do it?
No.
Why not, Jay?
He's over 30. He's got a lot of miles on him. If that doesn't work out and you trade all your draft picks, it's not like the Knicks have a bunch of young guys that I think are going to explode. That's it for the franchise for like 10 years again. So I don't like it.
I think it's too much for a risk for. I don't. If you added Dame to this team right now, we'd be better, but we're not winning a title. How do you feel about the fact that the Bulls went all in and they look like they actually are going to compete this year?
Well, they made smart moves and they got players that kind of fit. Knicks 2020, not 2021, say Kemba should have read the stats and defensive metrics, which I definitely agree with. That might have been a little eye-opening. He also said no to Lillard and hell no to Fox. So let's go to our
let's do it.
5
Your
trades.
first trade, Jay. Go.
My first trade
And wait, the only rule is every trade has to improve the team now.
So here is my problem. The Knicks' biggest need is a point guard. There's not a lot of point guards that have expiring contracts in the next year or two. The ones that do are old, and the ones that are good that you would want have no reason to. The teams have no reason to trade him, which is why I didn't put like Donovan Mitchell. Why would the Jazz trade him? Like things like that.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. So like none of that is in my list. So I tried to work with trades that are in the realm of possibility, and it made it a lot harder.
You can make an argument the other team might do this.
Right.
Okay.
So first trade is Fournier, Mitch Robinson, and Grimes for Buddy Hield.
I figured you would trade for Buddy Hield.
I like Buddy Hield. He's hit more threes than Curry in the last 4 or 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, he's like number 1 in the NBA.
What's his shooting percentage?
It's not great, and he's having a really bad season right now. But they also have
I think that's why I didn't want to trade for him.
They also have like 4 other guards that they want to play. I mean, they have Fox, Halliburton, Mitchell. I
mean, he's shooting 38% from the field. So like he's shooting 38% from the field and 36% from 3. He shoots 10 threes a game. He shoots 3 shots that are not a 3 a game. He just launches threes. I don't watch enough of the Kings, but like he sounds a bit one-dimensional there.
Yeah, but the Knicks need like a consistent 3-point shooter, and aside from this stretch this season, like he's been really solid from 3.
Yeah, he's a good 3. I have a question though, and I don't know enough about it. How is his defense?
I think it's average. I mean, it's an upgrade over Fournier, and that's what you're doing here. You're getting.
Is it that big of an upgrade over Fournier? Because Fournier can hit threes also if we keep letting him launch.
I think it's an upgrade over Fournier.
Okay, so you're giving Fournier, Mitch, and Grimes for him, right?
Yeah.
Grimes is one of our few players that can play defense.
Yeah, he plays an average of 2 minutes a game. I think we could swallow that.
Okay, he's also getting $24 million, so you're actually giving more cap space to this guy. He actually gets 20, so he gets 22 this year, 20 next year, and 18. His contract's pretty similar to Fournier's.
Yeah, Fournier has 1 less year.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I said, none of these are going to be like, oh, the Knicks are now champions. There is no, they messed up the draft, and now this is what it is. So we're doing what we can here.
Okay, I'm trading for Ben Simmons. I am trading Randall, Mitch, and Kemba. Kemba is there just for the contract to make the money work.
Mm-hmm.
But Randall, Mitch, and I guess Kemba might be useful to them. Those 3, like first of all, Philly has to trade Ben Simmons.
Yeah, they do.
Philly isn't a must-win. They only have so many healthy years of Embiid left. They are in. If the trade deadline comes and passes, they have not traded Ben Simmons. They're insane.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just trying to think like,
how does it make the Knicks better? The Knicks, first of all, Randall is gone. Not that he makes it better, but Randall's gone. It frees up Obi to play more, and I think Obi might play better in a more open offense. You saw Ben Simmons, great point guard. He may not be a great shooter from the outside, but he's a really good passer. His defense is stellar. Like he would. I would build a team around Ben Simmons. You don't like you would not build a team around Ben Simmons?
I don't know if I.
He's better than anyone on the Knicks. And by the way, Derrick Rose a couple years ago was a major head case. Now he's fine. There's a chance Ben Simmons go to another place and be totally fine.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how the scoring is going to be.
You got Obi. You got all the other players here. You got a bunch of players that can shoot.
Obi's not as good as you keep going on about.
I think Obi can put up 20 points a game if he played full time.
No. Why would I think that?
I think that. I'm not saying you think that.
You're insane.
Why is in a more open offense, he's going to get the ball a lot more. He has a lot of moves around the rim. He could score 20 points a game.
My concern, Knicks 2020 agrees with that. He is not happy with a championship contender with an MVP candidate teammate. What makes you think he's going to be happy when now his best teammates are Fournier and Obi Toppin?
I hate when the NBA does this. Guys, there's so many guys who are making so much money that refuse to play for their teams. Goran Dragic was traded to the Raptors. He refuses to play for them. He's getting $19 million. And he's like, I want to go to Dallas. Can you guys make that happen? You're getting $19 million. Go play for the goddamn Raptors.
Oh, he refused to play? I thought he just got benched.
I don't know. Maybe they agreed he's not playing. I don't know. Either way, he should be. I think they wanted to come off the bench, and it's like he should be fucking mopping the goddamn floor for $19 million a year. Like, just do whatever they tell you.
Yeah.
Not that he actually should mopping. I'm just saying, like, it's absurd how many guys are like, hey, guys, I shouldn't really have to play for you for $19 million. It's unfair. And the team's like, fine, it's unfair. You don't have to actually play for $19 million. We're not going to make you.
All right.
But anyway, you're right. So Simmons is a great situation now, but I think the fact that they tried to trade him screwed with his head. He doesn't, for whatever reason, like playing with Embiid. He gets crap from the fans. I'm sure in New York he'll never get crap from the fans.
Yeah, no, it's a great environment. If you're a head case, it's a great environment to be. We're running out of time, so
okay, fine. Okay,
number two,
keep going.
I have Mitch, Toppin, and Fournier for Miles Turner.
Mitch, Toppin, and Fournier. I mean, I'm down. I think that would actually I like him. So I was listening to Bill Simmons earlier, and he was saying that he thinks it's more likely they'll trade instead of Turner, they're more likely to trade who's the other guy?
Sabonis,
the big guy. Sabonis. They think Sabonis, like Turner, fits more into Carlisle's offense than Sabonis. So can we just switch that and trade for Sabonis? Because I would love to trade for Sabonis.
I would love to trade for Sabonis too.
I'll give a draft pick to get Sabonis also.
Yeah.
He has New York toughness. I would freaking love to get Sabonis.
Absolutely.
My next trade is De'Aaron Fox for RJ Barrett, Kemba, Knox, and Mitch. Kings got to make a move. They're trash. They got to do something. They can make Tyrese Halliburton their point guard. They can have Kemba as their backup or whatever. Them getting RJ Barrett would be a big upgrade for. It seems like De'Aaron Fox is not working out there. I would take a bet on De'Aaron Fox with New York.
I had Barrett, Fournier, and a first for Fox. So similar.
Fine. Yeah.
Because not that he's a perfect player, but he'd be the best point guard the Knicks have had in a long time. The Knicks need a point guard. They need.
The one thing I'd say is if I'm giving up RJ, I don't want to give him a first also, and I don't think they should have to. RJ is a young, talented upcoming player. That should be him, and maybe a lesser player should be enough to get De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, maybe swap out the first for whoever you want. That's fine. So we're both agreed on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Harrison Barnes for Randall.
Isn't Barnes isn't he almost 30?
Isn't Randall's 27? The ages aren't that different.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. The contracts kind of match up. Barnes is a legit 3. He's 12. Okay, Barnes is 29. So was he a year or two older than Randall? Yeah. Again, I am trying to open up a playing time for Obi, and I'm wondering there's no one to trade on this team either. So I'm thinking if you had a legit 3, the defense would look better. Obi playing more at the 4 might be helpful. I don't know. I'm wondering if you can really build around Randall. What, do you hate this?
I don't hate it, but
I didn't love this trade,
Yeah.
but like Barnes can score. He could shoot.
I just feel like it's a
He's
lateral move. Like it doesn't improve any position.
I think it improved. Well, first of all, they don't have a competent 3 right now.
So you're giving up on Barrett then?
No, Barrett can be really good. Barrett's more of a 2 than a 3, really.
So you're giving up on Fournier?
I don't know, Jay. Fournier could be on the bench. I'm not trying to. You could have RJ at the 2. You could have Barnes at the 3. You have Obi at the 4. A lot of my moves happen to have Obi getting more playing time.
Andrew also wants to know if you're just trading for Kings players.
It does seem like our entire trade thing is just like, okay, Jay, are you going to trade for Marvin Bagley next?
My next 2 are just wild Hail Marys, hoping it works out. All right? Okay. So Robinson and either Barrett or Burks for James Weissman.
I mean, by the way, Barrett or Burks, I feel like there's a much different much different values there. But if it's Burks,
well, when I wrote
Mitch,
this, it was last week, and Burks was coming off the bench, not our starting point guard. So.
If it was Burks and I'd rather hold on to Barrett than Burks. If it was Burks and Mitch for Weissman, first of all, I don't know if it makes this better right now, but I think I would do that trade.
It's a risk, but I think the Knicks have to get into risky territory now. If it works out, then Weissman's ceiling is higher than Robinson's. I think you'd agree with that.
Yeah, of course. So if you're Golden State, they're awesome this year. I mean, Golden State versus Phoenix might be like a conference finals preview. If you're Golden State, you're going for the title this year. Weissman, he's injured now, right? What's his deal?
He apparently is coming back sometime soon, but there's no timeline set yet. Maybe a month.
There's a good chance Weissman is not going to be that helpful to Golden State to win a title this year. So if you got Burks would be a solid guy off the bench there, and if you got Mitchell Robinson, he'd be a solid backup center. I like the trade for both teams. Okay, we're gonna hope that San Antonio is just like fucking wasted and just not paying that much attention to this trade offer.
Okay.
But DeJounte Murray and Devin Vassell for RJ, Knox, and Kemba. Now that I'm looking at it, and this is insane.
They're going to hang up really quick on that.
Yes.
There's no way.
What can I give to get DeJounte Murray? How about RJ, Knox, and a first round and this year's first round pick?
I feel like he's as close as you can get to untouchable in San Antonio. They don't have much, and he's one guy that.
By the way, the 2 bets I was going to make this season, the over unders. I bet the Knicks over for 42. I had 41.5 wins. I thought 42 wins would be a lock, and I might lose that bet. But then my other bet was I had to bet the over. Spurs they were 24 wins, and I was like, and I didn't make that bet. There's no way the Spurs are not going over on their victories.
I told you never bet against the Spurs.
They beat the Phoenix Sun. They beat the Golden State Warriors the other night, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Where's the Phoenix? Yeah, Golden State Warriors. Okay. What's your next trade?
So this is my last one. This is my other wild Hail Mary.
Okay.
Walker and McBride for Harris and Fultz. And now you're just hoping Fultz was looking really good before he got that bad injury.
I don't know how there's no way Orlando's doing that trade. Obviously I know they paid him a lot of money, but I think they're going to see what Fultz is like when he's coming back, by the way, like All-Star break or
something like that.
I think they're going to want to, he looked pretty decent. Orlando's not going to trade Fultz right now unless you give him a lot better package. That package doesn't get it done. Who was the other player?
You don't think they want to get rid of? He's got 2 more years after this one, 16.5 and 17 million.
I think he looked good enough beforehand that they're going to want to see him play with Cole Anthony and see what happens.
I feel like, yeah. I just felt like Cole Anthony's working out. So like,
What were we giving them? We were giving them nothing. We were giving them McBride and who?
Walker.
Yeah, they're not doing that. For Walker, they're not going to want because they're not in win now mode. Like they're not even. They don't have a use for Walker. And McBride is completely unproven. He only has value like to the Knicks right now. By the way, McBride has looked pretty awesome for the Westchester Knicks as far as I can at least from the box score. I haven't seen him actually. I haven't seen the Westchester games, but apparently he's balling out for Westchester.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see why the Knicks. Why can't the Knicks give him some playing time right now?
Well, that's why I said McBride, because he has value, and I feel like you have Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton.
Right. Oh, hang on. But why don't they the Knicks just play McBride right now? Like he's playing well in Westchester. Why don't you give him a shot for the big club? I mean, a bunch of years back, a second round pick named Malcolm Brogdon got a bunch of playing time, won Rookie of the Year. Not saying he's going to do the same thing, but he's looking good in Westchester. We have no point guard. Give him a shot.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just don't think they're going to. How does that even work though? Because Fultz, McBride plus Kemba does not equal Fultz's contract.
Oh, I messed that one up. What if you throw in Fournier? Let's just get rid of Fournier.
Okay. Yeah, Orlando. Do you want Fournier back? I know you traded him last deadline. Okay, my last one. Jalen Brunson plus Trey Burke for Mitchell Robinson, Knox, and the Dallas 2023 first rounder.
I like that.
So in my thought is here, first, Dallas loves ex-Knicks.
Yep.
So they're gonna be like all over this. Like we can get more Knicks in this roster.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell Robinson, they need another center, no question.
Yeah.
Knox with Luka passing to him, he might look a lot better. I think Dallas might think that like there's something there. Knox has been a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Knox played the other night. He had played for like 2 minutes and hit a three. And a first rounder. Trey Burke is just for the just to make the salaries work.
You're taking away an ex-Nick, though.
Yeah, that's true. You can put someone else besides Trey Burke. The point was to get Jalen Brunson, who is a very good, solid backup point guard for Dallas. Dallas could use for Dallas. They have Luka. They don't necessarily need Brunson on the court very much. Isn't Brunson going to be a free agent also?
I think so.
So if he's going to be a free agent, like maybe you want to trade him for value now because maybe you don't want to give Brunson is worth a big contract this offseason, and maybe you don't want to give him a big contract since he plays the same position as Luka.
Right.
Yeah, he's a free agent after this season, so I think he's going to be working a decent contract. Like I wouldn't mind the Knicks going after him this offseason, but the dude averages 14 points a game. He's playing about 30 minutes. He's a mediocre 3-point shooter, but if you watch him play, he's a pretty solid point guard. He's someone that I feel like an expanded role will get better going forward.
I like that one.
Okay. Which trade are we going to call in the Knicks with?
I think I'm torn between either that one or if Sabonis is available, I think we're doing that one.
Yeah, I would do the Sabonis trade in a heartbeat. I don't actually know if that's available.
I don't either.
I mean, obviously, I don't know if any of this stuff is available. Do you think? Here's a question for you, Jay. The Knicks last year were in the beginning of the season. They were in a rebuild, and then they played above expectations and made everyone think the rebuild. They were further along in the rebuild than they really were. Should the Knicks now try to like make a trade at the deadline to try to keep going with this win now mode, or should the Knicks go, we're still in the rebuild?
I think if the right move is out there, if you can get Sabonis or Brunson or Weissman, you do it.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair. I
mean, don't make a trade just to make a trade, but like if you can upgrade the center or point guard position, you do it.
The fact that the Knicks had so many, it's really just having so many years of being a bad team and not drafting a player that's good.
Yeah,
like when you just whatever you want to say about Frank. The Knicks had a tired bad season, and they got Frank. Knicks had a terrible season. They got KP, who turned out to be nothing, or nothing for the Knicks at least. It's just year after year of being bad and having it result in nothing on the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, 4 top 10 picks, and Barrett's the only guy that's even playable at this point, and he's having his worst season so far. So, like, it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to say about KP on the Knicks drafted KP and turned him into nothing.
Right.
They, Frank, he plays some great defense. Great. He's not what you want with that pick. Knox kind of sucks. He's barely hanging out in the NBA. And RJ, the best of the 4, has taken a major step back this year.
All right.
Like,
so
should the Knicks go back to tanking?
Not yet. Not yet. It's too soon.
Okay.
All right. We are out of time. So thank you for listening, everybody. I'm going to try and do Facebook Live next episode.
Oh, instead of YouTube or what?
Twitch, but I'll try both. Maybe I'll
wait.
try.
How is it different?
It's like Twitch, but through Facebook. So like, we'll have a chat not Facebook, YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, YouTube Live. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
are you going to tell anyone about it?
I'll post links. So follow us, NY Knicks Podcast, on Twitter and Facebook, and I will post links there. And you could join our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is TITOWAJ. Follow that, and we'll try doing YouTube Live next.
Okay. Jay, before next show, the Knicks play at San Antonio, at Indiana, at Toronto, and at home versus Milwaukee. What's the record going to be?
1-3.
So we're tanking. We're we're doing what the Knicks do best. Tank, but not on purpose.
So the Knicks have to get their crap together almost immediately, because have you seen their schedules starting February 1st?
Well, I mean, that's a long time away, but no, I've not looked at that. I'm going to look at that right now. They got Memphis, the Lakers, Utah, Denver, Golden State, Portland, OKC, Brooklyn, Miami, Philly. The rough month.
And then in March, it continues. Philly, Phoenix, LA, Dallas, Memphis, Brooklyn. It's brutal. It's brutal.
You know what the issue is? That you're naming all NBA teams. Do they have anything where they're not playing NBA teams? Because that would be a good schedule for the Knicks.
Yeah, that would.
If you'd be like, oh, look, they're playing Akron State. They're playing a high school girls team. They're playing. Oh, look, they're playing a bunch of dogs who have a basketball team. Okay, I think Knicks got this one also.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for joining in the chat. You can hit follow, and you'll get a notification when we go live, and we'll be back soon.
Happy trails to bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. It's over. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.